Tonight on CTV News at 11:30. Talks stall at Extendicare's table.
We've been setting a pattern for collective bargaining of the long-term care sector for all of Ontario's.
With province-wide action looming, the impact for long-term care workers across the north. Plus, a bumpy ride.
I'm swerving all over the place trying to make big potholes, miss big potholes. It's wild.
Sioux drivers say it's the worst pothole season on record. And one man, more than 60 children.
It's just a unique, unprecedented story.
An unbelievable true story makes its Canadian debut right here in the north.
CTV News at 11:30 with Ian Campbell and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Ian is off tonight. Provincial police are investigating a sudden death in Bruce Mines. According to the OPP, officers were called to a restaurant over what police will only describe as a disturbance involving multiple individuals. The 23-year-old was taken to Sault Area Hospital, where they died on Friday. An autopsy has been scheduled in Sudbury. The investigation is now in the hands of the East Algoma Crime Unit. CUPE members are preparing for province-wide action after negotiations stalled at the Extendicare Central table. The union represents over 30,000 long-term care and retirement home workers, including Sudbury, Timmins, and Kapuskasing. CTV's Lindsay Alick reports.
Sheena Bracken is the president of CUPE Local 1182, representing 250 members in Sudbury.
I've been a long-standing PSW here for 12 years, and I thoroughly enjoy what I do, and benefits, those are important to myself to keep healthy, especially with everything, physically that we do with our residents.
In a news release, CUPE officials say from scheduling, vacation, and pay issues caused by the implementation of the employer's human resources management system Workday to benefits and annual pay increases, the parties were unable to find common ground despite working with a neutral conciliator. CTV reached out to Extendicare and received a statement which says, in part, we are hopeful that the parties can continue to work together in the near future to discuss further options for resolution. Extendicare bargains with our union partners in good faith and enters discussions with the intent to reach mutually beneficial agreement.
We've been setting a pattern for collective bargaining of the long-term care sector for all of Ontario. So it's not just this local at all. We're all working together.
While long-term care workers in Ontario fall under the Hospital Labour Relations Dispute Arbitration Act, which denies them the right to strike, these workers are still able to employ other tactics and job actions to exercise their rights as workers. Officials say no job action will put residents or their care in any uncertainty. All of the locals will meet again April 28th and 29th to make a plan moving forward after discussing with members locally. Lindsay Alick, CTV News, Sudbury.
Ontario's police watchdog, the Special Investigations Unit, has cleared Sudbury police in the fatal shooting of an axe-wielding suspect. It happened back on December 5th at the intersection of Clinton Avenue and Queen Street. According to the SIU, the 33-year-old was shot in self-defense when he swung an axe through a police cruiser's windshield. He died later in hospital. Officers had been responding at the time to reports of a man armed with a knife attempting to break into a home. North Bay Police says it's seeing a significant spike in suspected drug overdose deaths in the city. In an alert the service issued over the weekend, it revealed early indications suggesting the unregulated drug supply may be contaminated. If you use drugs, they're urging users to not use alone, carry naloxone, start with a small dose, and to know your tolerance. A motion going before North Bay City Council tomorrow night is set to lobby the province and Ministry of Transportation for urgent action to improve safety on two key Northern Ontario highways, 11 and 17. CTV's Eric Tashner reports.
There have been 10 fatalities on northern highways since the start of 2026. Just a month ago, a Kapuskasing resident died after 4 transport trucks and a passenger vehicle collided near Smooth Rock Falls, just one of several serious collisions and highway closures each year.
When you have accidents happening that are shutting down the highways for hours or days, you have people dying, something needs to be done.
In April 2023, the Northern Ontario Transportation Task Force delivered a set of recommendations to the province aimed at improving safety, reliability, and economic connectivity across the North's transportation network. In it, it calls for increased passing opportunities through 4-laning where feasible and expanded implementation of the 2+1 highway model.
We do wish a lot of these things happened quicker, and I recognize that there's a lot of work that takes place behind the scenes to make things happen, but this isn't something new.
1117 is important for the Ontario economy, and it's the key east-west link between Western Canada and the rest of the country.
Now, a council motion tabled by North Bay's deputy mayor calls on the province to speed up and implement those recommendations while updating municipalities on the progress.
If we can get more safety measures and better infrastructure, it's going to save lives and it's going to have an extremely positive impact.
In January, Transportation Minister Prabmeet Sarkaria revealed early work on the 2+1 highway pilot design will begin this summer. Meanwhile, the Ontario Trucking Association is calling for 24/7 scales.
And to make sure all carriers receive an annual or biannual audit. Right now, 80% of trucking companies in Ontario never see an MTO auditor. That needs to change.
If passed, copies of the resolution will be sent to Premier Doug Ford, Sarkaria, other members of provincial parliament, and other lawmakers. Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
A snag to a major fundraising campaign over the weekend. The town of Kapuskasing had to evacuate its sports palace, which sustained damage due to a heavy snow load on the south side of the building.
On the south side of that structure, there's a curling club, and again, there's a space between the buildings, but linked with a hallway. So it doesn't share the roof, so to speak. So you know, between the buildings, there's space there enough to build up snow, and I guess the pressure of the snow between both buildings caused the wall between the retaining beams to come in.
Plord says there is visible damage and all activities and events have been canceled until further notice. Staff is working with engineers to determine next steps. In the meantime, Agnico Eagle has stepped up with a $60,000 donation following the cancellation of the annual CAP Gives Back fundraiser. It's been just a few weeks since the official start of spring. And in the north, we've already entered everyone's least favorite season, pothole season. As CTV's Corey Nordstrom tells us, Sioux drivers claim this is the worst they've seen in years.
If there's ever a time of year where drivers need to be especially vigilant, it's now. The freeze-thaw cycle of spring means roads are taking a toll, and so are vehicles.
Literally everywhere you go, especially Great Northern Road, like it's a main road, and I'm swerving all over the place trying to make like big potholes, miss big potholes. It's wild.
I don't think you can drive even for 10 minutes without hitting 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that just breaks your mojo.
According to the City of Sault Ste. Marie's risk manager, the past 5 years have seen over 500 pothole-related insurance claims, averaging $200 per claim.
I was just driving at normal, regular speed, and all I hear is just bang, and then I step out of the car, boom, busted. I did the claim, and they gave me $73.45 back. I said, this is brutal. I hadn't changed 2 tires. They were worth $4.50 each.
As people look to avoid those types of incidents, they can also pose a threat to those around them, says local driving instructors.
You always have to be aware of your surroundings because people are kind of like trying to avoid them. So they'll be crossing over into your lane or they'll be very close. And I think the other thing too is people don't realize is that you have to really slow down. and speed is not really conducive to, to potholes, unfortunately.
Over the last 5 years in Sault Ste. Marie, 2025 saw the most pothole claims with 199. The most frequent areas for those claims are also where the city tends to focus their repair efforts.
We have 1,225 lane kilometers of road throughout the city. So there is a focus on, prioritizing the pothole filling where there's going to be more traffic and a higher likelihood of issues on those roads.
Drivers I spoke with are blaming the record snowfall amounts seen this past winter for what they say is an especially bad pothole season. City officials are reminding the public that the municipality's website has information on where to report potholes to Public Works. Corey Nordstrom, CTV News, Sault Ste. Marie.
Flames and flashing lights lit up the sky in Bala early this morning after a fire broke out near one of Muskoka's most iconic venues. This was the scene just before 6 a.m. as multiple crews rushed to the key to Bala, where they found a fire burning behind the nearby Bala Falls pub. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. No injuries were reported. The Airport Management Council of Ontario is calling on the province to adopt their proposed Ontario Airport Capital Assistance Program. AMCO is hoping Premier Doug Ford will extend the support to smaller airports needing assistance. This includes communities like Hearst, Kapuskasing, and Earlton that could benefit from where the tax base is smaller.
Airports are expensive when their capital needs are coming up for renewal, such as runway rehabilitation, lighting upgrades, etc. And those are big costs that can be on the taxpayers. So anything that any support we can find from other levels of government would really go a long way to ensuring that these pieces of infrastructure remain publicly accessible.
The call is in response to the Ontario government seizing ownership of Toronto's Billy Bishop Airport. Some families affected by the 6-week-long bus strike by Alouette Bus Lines will be eligible for financial assistance. The Nipissing Parry Sound Student Transportation Service sent families a letter late Thursday saying the consortium is working on a subsidies plan with several stakeholders. The program would provide some money for parents and guardians transporting their children to and from school and would be retroactive. Service disruptions began February 23rd when about 80 Alouette bus line drivers walked off the job. Nearly 2,000 students have been impacted by the strike across 67 routes. It's time now for a short break here on CTV News. Coming up, we'll have your full weather forecast, but for now, a look at the current conditions around the region. So we've got some snow falling out there in Temiskaming Shores, Elliott Lake, Sudbury, and Gore Bay. Some cloudy skies in Chapleau and some snow falling in Wawa as well. Special weather statements in effect. Full details coming up a bit after this.
Well, it's been wild. It's been crazy. It's just been weird weather the last couple of days. Of course, over the Easter weekend, now we get flurry activity with a special weather statement as issued by Environment Canada. 2 to 4, 2 to 6 centimeters of snow depending on your locale, but should start to clear up. It'll be cold overnight, but again, that's all part and parcel of what we're getting in the Northeast the last couple of weeks. Sudbury Nickel Belt, we've got mainly cloudy skies after a cold night, -3 your high. Wednesday, chance of flurries, chance of showers. We go from +2 to +8, back down to +2, back up to +8, then +9. And again, that trend continues. So the roller coaster effect on weather, showers, flurries, and of course some sunshine in our forecast. Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma, more of the same. Chance of flurries -2, +2 Wednesday at snow. Sleet, 7 degrees on Thursday. Friday, chance of flurries. 9 degrees Saturday with sunshine. Sunday, we've got chance of showers and even 10 degrees in the forecast. Meanwhile, in Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing, you want a sense of normalcy? Let's try. Chance of flurries -3, chance of flurries +1 Wednesday. Here we go, 7 degrees with the sleet, either showers or flurries. Friday, only +1, sun and cloud Saturday at +6, then 8 degrees with a 40% chance of showers come Sunday. Your normal should be at around 5 for this time of the year. Temiskaming Shores and Kirkland Lake. Mainly cloudy tomorrow, -3, +2 Wednesday with the cloud. We've got showers or flurries Thursday at 7, 2 degrees on Friday with a chance of flurries. Mainly sunny skies Saturday at 7, then up to 8 degrees come Sunday. Chance of showers, the odd sunny break. And again, that trend continues over the course of the next few days here in northeastern Ontario. North Bay, West Nipissing now, chance of flurries at -3. Wednesday, sun and cloud 5 degrees. Then it gets bumped up to 9 degrees with showers on Thursday, dropping back down to 2 on Friday with a chance of flurries. Back up to 8 degrees, loads of sunshine Saturday, and of course even better, 10 degrees Sunday with the chance of showers. So, Amanda, hard to explain these days. Try explaining that to the public where they keep on asking me, when is spring finally going to be arriving realistically here in the northeast of Ontario? It's coming gradually, slowly but surely. Back to you on the desk.
That is the question, Rick. Thanks for that. The Artemis II capsule has emerged from behind the moon after reaching maximum distance from Earth and making the closest approach to the moon.
Houston, we have you the same, and it is so great to hear from Earth again. To Asia, Africa, and Oceania, we are looking back at you. We hear you can look up and see the moon right now. We see you too.
As expected, Artemis II lost contact with mission control for about 40 minutes when the capsule passed behind the moon without stopping. Earlier in the day, Canadian Jeremy Hansen and the 3 American astronauts set a record when they traveled farther from Earth than anyone before. The North Shore Health Network is advising the closure of the emergency department at Thessalon's Hospital. The ED will be closed from tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. and will remain closed until 8 a.m. Thursday morning. The 2-day closure is a result of doctor shortages. Sault Area Hospital and the Blind River and Richards Landing hospitals will remain open. Today is the 8th anniversary of the tragic Humboldt Broncos crash, which claimed the lives of 10 young hockey players and 6 others. But the legacy of player Logan Boulet lives on through Green Shirt Day, which is tomorrow. CTV's Pauline Chant has more.
They called it the Logan Boulet effect when the organs of the 21-year-old were donated the day after the crash, saving several lives and inspiring thousands to register as organ donors.
Literally 5 lives with solid organs and then corneas. And we had a lot of people tell us after that cornea transplant is saving someone's life because now they can see.
I was in Vancouver donating my kidney through the kidney paired exchange program, September 9th. I was in the waiting room and doing different things and sitting there going, wow, oh, there's this Green Shirt Day contest coming up.
Last year, Candace Zernowski's relative was in dire need of a kidney, but she wasn't a match for him. So she gave her left kidney as part of a chain of transplant donations, ensuring her cousin would get a kidney that did match.
They have a very poor quality of life. So it was really stuffed to see him as a young 30-year-old in his mid-30s man not being able to work and function, take care of himself.
It took her several weeks to return to work, but she says the benefits for the recipient are immediate. And this year, her design was chosen as the logo for Green Shirt Day.
The big puck, and then the lines here are supposed to show it sort of flying the puck. The hockey sticks, the number 27 is Logan Boulet's number.
Logan's dad, Toby Boulet, says this year's theme is one decision can create a lasting ripple effect. And while he would love to see everyone wear a green shirt on April 7th, he says the most important thing is for families to talk about organ donation.
It's about the conversation. Without the conversation, a transplant doesn't occur in Canada. The family has to agree to it, even in the provinces of Nova Scotia and New Brunswick, where there's presumed consent. If the family says no, it's a no. So you have to have the conversation.
Across Canada, more than 4,000 people are waiting for organ transplants, about 70% for kidneys. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
Meals on Wheels and the Ontario SPCA are partnering to help seniors care for their pets at home. The new pilot program will be tested in Sudbury with hopes of reducing barriers to pet care caused by limited mobility, fixed incomes, and accessibility challenges. The existing Meals on Wheels routes will now bring pet supplies donated by the Ontario SPCA along with their regular visits.
Pets play a critical role in reducing loneliness and supporting mental health, and small supports can have a significant impact on overall well-being. They're seeing more and more where seniors, through no fault of their own, it could be just related to income and means, are having to turn over their most valued companion.
Holloway says they're already seeing the impact at the community level. In London this past weekend, an annual Easter weekend tradition helped raise tens of thousands of dollars for National Service Dogs. CTV's Brent Lale was at the annual egg hunt for dogs.
We've been working on this great cause for 30 years.
Hundreds of dog owners hit the grounds at the Plunkett Estate for the annual Easter egg hunt.
We're hoping to raise approximately $75,000 across 6 hunt locations, and all the money goes directly to providing service dogs to veterans and first responders with PTSD, children with autism, and also facility dogs who work in various settings across the country.
Each service dog is valued at $15,000 over the course of their working career. The organization's largest fundraiser will provide someone with a companion.
This is NSD Dusty. And NSD Dusty is a facility dog that works with the Stratford Police Service. She has a number of roles, one being to provide support to members of the police service to support their mental health, the other being to assist victims and witnesses of crime and tragic circumstance in our community.
And Dusty was just one of these service dogs in attendance.
Virgil is my absolute favorite coworker. He works alongside me at the London Family Court Clinic and the Child Victim Witness Program. Virgil's there to support children and youth who could be involved in sexual assault cases, who could have experienced child abuse, physical assaults, and he helps provide them extra comfort when they have to testify in court.
Each participant in the egg hunt donated to the cause and had a chance to find special hidden prizes. The London hunt was one of 6 across the country. Brent Lale, CTV News.
Snowmobile season has come to an end in Espanola and parts of the North Shore. The new Espanola and District Snowmobile Club posting these pictures of parts of their trails clearly underwater over the weekend. As a result, the executive has decided to close them immediately for everyone's safety. In the NOJHL playoffs, the Sudbury Cubs continued their winning streak, taking down the Sault, Michigan Eagles 6-3. Meanwhile, Timmins Rock have now taken a 3-series lead, defeating Hearst 5-3. Still ahead tonight on CTV News. One Man, More Than 60 Kids. That documentary premieres in Northern Ontario this week. Finally for us tonight, an internationally acclaimed documentary with an unbelievable premise makes its Canadian debut in Northern Ontario this week. Dad Jeans tells the shocking story of a man who discovered he has more than 60 biological children.
It's all your sperm. I really just did it for the money. Now I have 67 children.
It sounds like a work of fiction. One man, a DNA test, and a family tree that keeps growing. But that's the true story of Aaron Long in the new documentary Dad Jeans, directed by Craig Downing.
Aaron was meeting some of his donor children. They were flying out to Seattle all the way from the East Coast. We're like, wow, what an interesting story. So that's why I was drawn. It was just a unique, unprecedented story.
The film has already earned global recognition, premiering in Greece and winning Best Documentary Feature in the U.S. It follows Long as he meets some of his biological offspring, but the story takes an emotional turn when he finds an unexpected connection, falling in love with the mother of 2 of those children.
And so that definition of family changed and it's still changing. So people are like, what? Here's another dynamic, another variable to what is family and how do you define that and how does it work when there's new members to your family you didn't know about.
Now, the film is coming to Sudbury. It's set for its Canadian premiere at the Indie Cinema as part of the Junction North International Film Festival. Now in its 10th year, its director says the heart of storytelling is at the festival's core.
The attendees, even just broader members of the Indie, tell us all the time they love these documentaries. They love watching these stories, seeing stories from people across the world that they've never heard of, and feeling so connected to them.
Junction North runs from this Thursday through Sunday at the Indy Cinema. Dad Jeans premieres this Friday afternoon at 2:30. And that takes us to the end of our newscast. Thanks for spending a bit of your Easter Monday with us. Good night.